especially good. You're gonna have to wait and see. Just say it.
Hello there, wrestling fans! And welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now introducing to the mic my co-host, my partner in crime, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, world? What's going on, international world? What's up, Dudes at Ringside podcast? What's up, Ringside crew? How's it going? So, Joe, you want to introduce the guest?
Of course.
All right.
Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome from Adam from According to Woods.
What's good, party people? We're here with the Dudes at Ringside podcast, Metal Geek, Joe the Panther Jr., and man, this is going to be a hell of a show.
This is going to be a fun show.
Oh, God, I can't wait. Also, today, it's sad to think this. It's been 10 years since we've lost the great Macho Man Randy Savage. It's been 10 years, gentlemen. 10 years. Like, Adam, what are your biggest memories of Macho?
If not for Macho Man Randy Savage, I wouldn't be a combat sports fan, because for me, pro wrestling is combat sports. Once you see Harley Race in a wheelchair, you know there's no fake thing about it. So don't get that out of here. Just get that out of here. But
Yeah.
Randy Savage versus Bret Hart, who's still part of the Hart Foundation, when I saw him on Saturday night's main event in, I believe, August or July of '87, that was the first thing that I saw in terms of combat sports. First thing in a ring, cage, whatever. And the story that was told in that match, oh man, I can play it back on my head. Like, they go through, several commercial breaks, and, they're working over Savage's, leg and everything like that. He pulls off a boot. It's a phenomenal match. Still stands the test of time. And if not for Randy Savage and Bret Hart, I wouldn't be doing what I do now. So when we lost Savage, man, that was. I know people will talk about Warrior or whatever, but Savage was something different. Savage loved the business. He was a second generation wrestler. His father, the great Angelo Poffo, who had the Guinness World Records of like the most push-ups and sit-ups for almost 30 years, if not still standing to this day. His brother, the genius Lanny Poffo, the Poffo family, running in opposition to like the Jarretts and Jerry Lawler in Memphis, the Outlaw Mud Show for that time. Like, Randy is incredible. Randy's incredible. I actually got to meet him, which is really cool. And it was on the set of the first Spider-Man movie.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was an extra. I was in ROTC at Inglewood High School in Inglewood, California, and the Sony lot was maybe about 20 minutes away, or an hour in LA traffic. But it's actually kind of funny, because anytime during that like early 2000s era, there was, there would be, things that would happen at the Forum, the Great Western Forum, the place at Showtime and Magic Johnson and all that, whatever. But they had, basically got ownership by this church. And whenever there was an event at the Forum, they would call the ROTC people to go ahead and do bootleg security, right? So I basically attended all of the original incarnation of WoW Women of Wrestling, right?
Wow.
Because they shot it right there at the Forum, right? So fast forward to basically being at Sony Studios, in the Bonesaw McGraw and everything like that, Tobey Maguire. Well, the gals, if you guys remember, there were 3 girls that taunted Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man, as he's heading to the ring, right? And basically, he ends up, those 3 girls ended up being like the disciplinarian, Terry Gold, and Jungle Girl of WoW Women of Wrestling. And they were like, between takes, they were like, you want to go meet Bruce Campbell? Like, yeah, sure. Bubba Hotep, right? Toby Maguire, who at that point had only been in like Cider House Rules or something like that, or Pleasantville, that's what it was. And then they're like, "You want to meet Macho Man?" And he's, "Oh, how are you doing?" Like, I can't do a good Macho Man, but
What are you doing?
almost like DMX spoke the way that he would sound. So, man, again, a tremendous loss.
Yeah, like it's sad to say this. When I used to go to the Garden as a little boy, I never got a chance to hear the Papa and Circumstance live. I've always got a chance to see it on TV. Maybe he was injured when I was watching, but I got a chance to see Hogan. Never got a chance to see Warrior live. I got a chance to hear the Sergeant Slaughter theme live. Never got a chance to hear I did. I'm lying. The Undertaker's theme live, but not the original. Just like the reincarnated Undertaker theme. But I can say this. I was spoiled as a kid. I got a chance to go to Madison Square Garden for the Golden Era house shows, man. Those Golden Era house shows with Howard Finkel welcoming you to Madison Square Garden, just got chills thinking about it, man. I miss you, Fink. Like hearing the fans cheer as Fink walks down the aisle and he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Madison Square Garden. We have a great show tonight, fans, and here we go." Then the fireworks go up.
Yeah, seeing so much stuff at Madison Square Garden is unbelievable.
And also, it's kind of bad to say this, but happy birthday, Chris Benoit. Even though, yeah, I know. I say, I know. But I know. It's kind of like, do I say that? Lance like, no, I'll do it. But I was there when he won the world heavyweight title at Madison Square Garden at WrestleMania 20. And when I'm in a quiet room, I get chills thinking about it. I could still hear the Madison Square Garden. New Yorkers don't always go together for everything. But at that moment, when Benoit had the crossface on Triple H, and the crowd's like, tap, tap, tap. And they were like, Triple H was about to grab the rope, and he flipped like a pit bull, having a lock on a stake, flipped him over, and the crowd was like, "Oh," and they all was, "Oh," and then he started tapping. The crowd was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah." I got teary eyed thinking, Benoit at this moment never won the title. His glory from the WCW coming here, and he finally wins the big one. And I was just like, wow. And then I was at the show before he tragically had the thing he did. But I was at the show in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, the week before all that went down. With Vince, remember when Vince McMahon's limo exploded?
Yeah.
I was at that show.
Wow.
I was at that show, and me and my buddy were leaving the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Arena, and it smelled so bad. The smell of gasoline and fuel, it took over the whole parking lot.
Wow.
I looked down because they had like a look down thing with a fence. Look down into the parking lot. It looked like someone lit a bonfire. It lit up the sky of Scranton, Pennsylvania. You would have thought it was sunny in by the stadium. It was so bright.
Wow.
And then a week later, Benoit tragically that happened.
Yeah, because wasn't that the storyline? Correct me if I'm wrong. Where Vince was supposed to go bye, and his brother Jess and his family, who's reclusive, he just recently passed away. In Texas, but Jess is family, Jess named after I believe Vince McMahon's grandfather, Jess McMahon. he was supposed to, basically take reins of the company in Vince's absence and what have you. And we never got that because that ended up becoming the Benoit tribute episode, which
Was not good.
that lasted all of a day.
Yeah, that was. I still remember hearing about Benoit and the whole thing that happened. I was like, oh my god, Benoit's dead. Oh my god. And then the news started coming out that there was woman was there and the son, and I was just like, what do I think of this? Do I be upset for a family loss? And then the news after that, more news started coming out, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
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 Where were you, Metal Geek,
What's
when
up?
this happened?
To be honest, how long ago? Was it 10 years ago? 15? Yeah, that was a long time ago. I was in shock watching it on TV, seeing Vince emerge, and I'm like, they're breaking kayfabe right now. And then after that, it was like the whole thing happened. So
I was in
I was in shock. I'm like, I couldn't believe it when I'm like,
Yeah. I that one hurt really bad because like at least for me, and I know a lot of us, right, where if your friends didn't like wrestling, oh, shout out to official TNT 2K, like the best video game, literally video game streaming network on YouTube. Shout out to our friends in the UK. Hell yes.
He's in,
No, but in terms of, like Benoit was the guy where you were like, your friends would be like, oh, I don't watch wrestling anymore. But like, you need to watch Chris Benoit. Like that was the thing. That was the catalyst. And when he did that, like of course, what I felt pales into comparison to, Nancy's family or, David Benoit. Benoit is, son from a previous marriage, a daughter from a previous marriage. Michael Benoit, the Benoit's dad. Like it pales into comparison. But I just felt so dejected because, like, you were our guy. You were our guy, and you had to do that. But obviously, and I think even though it's infamous, right? It lives in infamy, and nothing can excuse what he did. But that was like 07, right? What we now know about like concussions and everything like that, electric, yeah. I can't,
My chemical. I'm not. Oh my god.
I haven't seen it yet. The Nick Cage Dark Side of the Ring yet. So have you seen it?
What is your guys' take on that?
What?
The Dark Side of the Ring.
I haven't seen the. Was there a Benoit one? Because I could have sworn there was a Benoit one.
What?
Oh, yeah, Benoit, I believe, was like first season, and then if not first, second, or second season, but it was it was a two-parter, much like the way they did Pillman, this season.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, Benoit. I mean the whole Dark Side of the Ring. It's amazing. Like if you're a wrestling fan, check that one out.
Somebody said they should do a Lucha Underground episode.
They've already done.
They've done for Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was either I want to say it was last season because
I gotta look that up then.
Yeah.
What's going on?
What's up, brother? One of our buddies.
Yeah.
College friend. He's he's one of our buddies. He would drag him. My mom said this to me. It was hilarious. She's like, we were talking about Damien before. Even Thunder Feet.
Damien Dragon, yeah.
And we dragged Thunder Feet to NYWC when he would live when I lived on Long Island. And my mom's like, "Oh my god, I totally remember you and Lance and Thunder." Well, she didn't say Thunder Feet. She said a real name. Pile in Lance's car and go to Deer Park, Long Island, and go to the Recreation Center and watch NYWC. And I'm like, yeah. And it was hilarious because we've been landing so many NYWC superstars. Like you can go on the Dudes at Ringside page. If you're not following it yet, Dudes at Ringside podcast, give us a nice follow.
Everywhere.
Give Adam Woods a follow too.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Great guy.
So awesome. Give Woods a follow on YouTube. It helps us all out. We're all part of this big, as the Dirty Heels would say, we all part of this big brotherhood.
Yeah.
We all need a little help of everybody.
Absolutely. And
Like-
also, official TNT 2K. Yeah, give him a subscription. He does amazing work. Probably one of the best booking minds, that there's ever been. Not named to a major company. So, I mean, some of the dream matches that he puts together on that YouTube channel, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Ooh, gotta check it out. Maybe one day we can have him on the show. You should try that.
Yeah.
That's a hard one to get. I was like, "You want to come on?" And he was like, "I don't want to be on camera." And I was like, "Ooh."
We can have the camera off. We can have like the little thing in the
We
corner.
can have in the corner, that little
Yeah.
picture. That's it. The TNT picture. That's it.
Yeah,
The Lucha
Yeah.
Man. We can have the
that's
Lucha
a
Man.
good brother right there, man.
We
just
we
like you
actually, we did like dream matches with the Dirty Heels, but a lot of Geek is a humongous fan of like
New Japan.
New Japan. He's a
Japan.
super Japan fan.
I might
Like,
have an All Japan shirt. Sorry.
Nakamura. I'm wearing Nakamura shirt right there. Yeah.
Yo.
I got the original Golden Era heel, my grandpa, Mr. Jose Quinones. Yeah, grandpa.
Yeah.
Yo.
That's
So-
my grandpa.
We're talking about your grandpa, right?
Yes.
That's what we're gonna do. I'm so fascinated.
What's going on?
Wow.
What's going on,
Yes.
Marauder?
That's
Let's
Mr. Marauder. Oh yeah, Nakamura. And
Dude.
I'm not just the one generation. I'm a third generation, Mr. Woods. I'm Jose Quinones. We got Pistol Pete Sanchez. We got the Blue Demon, Frank Martinez.
Wow. That is, I mean, especially like in the Northeast, that's, oh man.
Yep. And I'm the reporter of the family.
That's, did anyone nudge you and be like, hey, Papi, want to get in the ring?
I'd probably do it. I'm strong. Like Lance knows.
Oh, and we almost forgot. Happy birthday to our mod, by the way. Right? Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, happy birthday to Mr. Marauder.
No.
Who?
Our Spiffy.
Oh, ever so spiffy. Happy birthday, ever so spiffy.
Yeah.
Mariah's gonna see you dancing because I always do that. Could you see us doing the intro when we introduced you?
Yes.
You saw it, right? You saw it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I Lance freaked out when we got Kiara, and then Lance found out that we are being watched in Germany. And
Yeah.
I have to add to the intro. I have to do the New Day. I have to be like internationally. No, I had to make it all hardcore. I had to go crazy when I did that. And I was like, and he said, "Oh, people listen to us in Germany on Spotify." And I was like,
Das Boot. Das
"How do
Boot.
you know what I'm saying?" Like, I know there's Germans that
Speak
speak
English.
there's some, but I'm happy that I'm just scared of, like, if I ever went on a family trip and we couldn't do a show or two with Lance, and I say something like, "Hey guys," or I say wrestling fans, or say something that I'm known for the show, or I say, my dad's gonna be like, "Randy, what are you known on that thing, Joe the Panther Jr.?" Or if I'm wearing this shirt for some reason or another, because I never try not to wear it, it's like my uniform, and I get noticed by a German or a French guy. "Oh, Joe the Panther Jr. goes at ringside. Welcome to France." You know
If
me?
you can get some Wiener Schnitzel out of it.
Yeah. If you ever come to Pennsylvania, I'll hook you up with some nice restaurants to come to.
Oh, that might be worth the trip.
Or
Yeah,
New York. Or
Yep.
New York.
Over New York, Lance knows there's a pizza place, and there's a lot of pizza places in New York that me and Geek could totally we'll give you like a list.
New York's known for their pizza, by the way.
We might have to make this happen. I'm just saying.
We have to have a meet and greet. You come to the
we were saying with one of the wrestlers that we should do a Dudes at Pizza podcast or something like
Yeah.
that.
go to a big
Ooh,
get
I
to
like
pizza
it.
place, get a pizza, get
Right.
a nice. With me, because my dad made me do this. Whenever we get pizza, it has to be well done.
No, 100%. Well, I love it because I love pizza. I was a Corona weight champion like 15 years before COVID. So, just
Mm.
saying.
Just one question: how long has you been podcasting for?
Oh yeah, there you
Since July,
Yeah.
realistically. So I basically done interviews and like post fights for MMA and pro wrestling here in Southern California for about like the last 5 years, right? And basically COVID happened, no shows, and here between MMA, jiu-jitsu, pro wrestling, Muay Thai, there was something happening every weekend, like for the last 4 or 5 years. So COVID happened, you know, unfortunately, no shows, right?
Mhm.
So, I guess it was I know for sure. It was the Keyboard Warriors MMA channel, as well as the, what is it, MMA Storytime channel. They were like, we'd love to have you as a guest. Love those guys. Tremendous. And they're like, dude, that was great. Why don't you start your own? And I'm not one who likes to edit and all that jazz and whatever. So they're like, no, we use StreamYard. You should use it too. Whatever. And literally July 1st of 2020 was my first one. And 400 some odd episodes in because I'm a nuts. Thin. There you go. I like it.
You went so quick. He was reading it.
Oh, sorry.
Thin
I interrupted. I'm
crust
sorry.
all day.
Oh, also, Lance Geeky doesn't have the link yet, but our store is
Open
open for business.
on Teespring.
The Keyspring store, Dudes at Ringside Podcast, is open. So if you guys, when Geeky gets the link, we can post it on Facebook.
Mhm.
We are open, and if you want to buy a shirt, Woods, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
I'm buying one. Hope you have a triple and then
Whatever
triple on
size you
that,
want.
extra large.
All
Yeah.
right.
6X. That's what I feel like I'm at
Mhm.
right now. It's weird.
I think we got that. I think that's what we got. I don't know what sizes they have it in, but I know it'd be cool to see you wearing it around California.
Hell yes. I'm going to rep that all day.
So,
That Ringside
do you,
Podcast all day.
Are you a fan of like movies, or you just like do sports?
Of which one?
Movie.
You like movies?
I like some movies. Back to the Future is probably the best.
I'm a Ghostbusters nut. I don't know. If
Oh,
you've
I
seen.
love Ghostbusters too.
What do you think about the new movie coming out in November? The new Ghostbusters movie.
So I kind of like the fact that they scrap, like, I mean, they're kind of tipping their hat from at least what the promos lead me to believe that they kind of scrap the all female cast that kind of bombed, which it's
Yeah.
sad that it did, right? And then they go to the grandchildren of the originals, and I think it's an interesting take on it. I love the fact that they acknowledge, the movie series that we all love versus then just do a complete reboot and almost like pretend like what we love didn't exist.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like the first time they showed the kid, Finn starting up the Ecto. Oh God, chills. And then the most important part, it was when McKenna Grace moves the flight suit back and you see Egon's flight suit. I fanboyed out. I had to stop the trailer and wipe my eyes. I jumped out of my chair and I was just doing this though. For 10 minutes, I was like, "What is this really happening?" I was like crying in my room. I also do a YouTube channel. If you guys like Ghostbusters, come check us out. Ghostbusters, Ghost Head Talk. Me and Laura, we chatted up about Ghostbusters. Actually, now it's Ghost Head Talk podcast because podcasts to do thing. And Laura's like, I like it. And I was like, now nobody ever has to see your face, Laura. You can just be the voice in the background. You like, like yes.
That sounds mysterious.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, who was your favorite Ghostbusters?
Oh man, everybody knows I'm the Peter Venkman guy because I always like the money. I like
I
Peter.
like Egon because I didn't. That was such an interesting name.
Yeah,
Like Egon. Yep, 100%.
Mhm.
Egon. Us ghost heads would say it. Marauder knows Egon, but not forgotten.
Mhm.
That's our little thing, homage to him. Oh,
I
Egon,
like it.
but not forgotten.
That's I like it. So good. So
Yeah,
good.
that's like seriously, but that's not. I'm surprised they didn't. Sony hasn't like put that on a T-shirt yet. Egon, but not forgotten. I found a patch. Somebody sent me a patch of a ghost Egon, like sitting like this, but he's like sitting there just chilling with the PK meter, just chilling.
Yeah, I like my favorite movie is The Fifth Element.
Really?
Yeah, you ever see that movie or
I've seen some of it.
yeah, it's been my favorite movie for a while.
There is no Dana, only Zool. Yep.
You like what you like.
There's many things in this world that we can't explain, and that's where we come in here. That's when there's many things in the wrestling world that we can't explain. That's where we come in.
The
Yeah.
best line.
Which zombies?
Yes. What did you? I don't know. Have you been keeping up with the Raws and Smackdowns, Woods?
I try not to. I mean, it's not for me anymore. That's,
We try to go on before. Like if I beg our guests, do you want to go on at 9?
no, let's. I mean, we could talk about. I know exactly what's going on, but like, it's weird. AEW is weird because, like, for me, I'm a and Joe Mental, we're kind of. I want to feel like we're kindred spirits in terms of our wrestling styles. There shouldn't be 80 spine busters, 75 super kicks.
Yeah.
You know, there only needs to be one.
Mhm.
Well, like Arn Anderson basically doing the spine buster. He damn near took everybody. Like it was a spine buster.
Yeah, that was fun.
The DDT cracked. If the DDT cracked Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's head open in the Boston Garden, the old Boston Garden, then why do I need to say 85 of them or as a setup move to something else? It should kill you, and that's it.
The what's it called? The Cody versus Dustin match is probably the best match from AEW history.
Yeah, and then also the Dog Collar match, you know, with late great Brody Lee. You got to put
that was a great match too.
Yeah, I would say those two are the best. The best matches. It's weird, right? Because I was actually a fan of Kenny Omega, especially in New Japan.
New Japan, he was so much better in New Japan.
Yeah,
110 times better. The match with Okada are 110 class. Those are classics right there. And Joe might get mad at me, but I compare them. They're probably like Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair matches. They're like they're going to go down as some of the greatest matches of all time.
I'm not mad at that. I'm more of a Nick Bockwinkel fan than I am a Flair fan, so I'm not mad at it at all. Sorry, Joe.
Oh no, I don't. I'm like, oh, he's talking. I'm like the Mr. Old School of our show, certified old school. I always say certified.
But Okada's got to be one of the greatest wrestlers, period, right now.
Yeah.
Wrestlers. Would you say so right now, or what would you say?
Well,
as of right now.
Okay, so it's weird, right? Because you were saying, right, how Okada and Omega were, right?
Yeah.
Classic, right? 5-star classics and whatever. Even the storyline of hitting the one-ring angel and he finally getting it, you know, and then he gets the championship. Like it's it. Even small things like the filming of the V-Trigger. The way they filmed it in New Japan, it looked like it took your head off.
Yeah.
Like Omega was a killer, right?
Yeah.
Now it's so crazy. I mean, over on we've got the Bucks and Omega as executives in the company, but they don't even know how to book themselves. Like New Japan booked them great.
Yeah.
They don't even know how to book themselves, which is kind of the problem, right?
Yeah.
Like the Kenny Omega V-Trigger, right? They can't film it right in AEW, but they can somehow get that shot for the Best Friends hug, which is a take on the Okada Rainmaker.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Exactly.
What are we doing?
It's
And
ridiculous.
also, I hate the names of AEW pay-per-views. All In, All Out, Blood and Guts. What are you, 70 in a country club? Like, no. Like, oh man, it's so bad.
Yeah.
New Japan has unique names for their pay-per-views. Wrestle Kingdom, G1,
Yeah.
what you call it?
Dontaku.
Wrestling Duntaku is another one. Exactly. Wrestle Kingdom. The list goes on and on right there.
Yeah. The
So
Super Junior.
Best of
Super
Super
Junior.
Yeah, those, and every single pay-per-view is a 5-star match. Every single pay-per-view. A lot of people want to talk bad about it, like the current situation. I actually absolutely loved the Shingo and Osprey match from Wrestling Dontaku. I thought that was match of the year, comparing to Jay White and Kota Ibushi.
Okay, so Tagai, his body type is weird. His shorts, and then his neck, and then the untoned, like it's just weird to me. I've got a weird thing. I also say like Drew McIntyre, he should be like as big as he is. He should even be like 2 times bigger to outfit his neck. He's just got this huge neck that whatever. But then Bobby Roode has a long torso. I know it sounds like I'm body shaming. I'm fat guy body shaming.
Yeah.
Stupid, but yeah, it's weird. And then and then the hair, like he just looks like a. I don't know if you guys remember. There used to be this like gimmick where you put like this like mechanical dodo bird to dunk in the water.
Yeah.
Put it on your gut.
Yeah.
That's what Takagi looks like to me.
Really? I mean, but his match with Osprey was
his
amazing.
matches are phenomenal.
Yeah.
100%.
Mhm.
100%. It's just like if he.
I get what
wins
you're saying.
Yeah, if he gets a world title run, I'm all like that guy. But I also don't like the guy with the who is it? The Great Okan. Oh,
Great O'Con.
ugh.
I mean, to be honest, I'm gonna rip on him for now, but give him time. You know what I mean? Give him a little time, and I think in like a couple months he's gonna fit into his groove.
I hope so.
Because to be honest, I'm gonna say this: I hated Jay White when he first started with the match with Tanahashi, but now he's one of the best.
I always knew, in terms of like, even when they were young boys, Finley and Jay White, I knew Jay was going to be, like, obviously they work differently or whatever, but they're not brothers. But I compare them very much like Matt and Jeff Hardy, right? Where, Jeff is definitely like the heartthrob. Like you put Jay White, Jeff Hardy, in their prime on like a teeny bopper magazine, the girls are gonna go crazy.
The hair and all the stuff they wear, those
and the
bands.
bad boy look, like
Mhm.
that's it, And then you've got Finley / Matt, right? And it's the same thing. Also good looking, but nothing compared to the enigma that their compatriot have. So there always be solid hands, and of course Finley, like 4th generation wrestler. Grandparents are wrestlers. Dad is the great Fit Finley. I think I want to even saying like 5 generations of Finleys go back in terms of pro wrestling. I knew Jay was going to be a star. He just had something. Even when they were young boys, I was just like, I didn't see Juice Robinson coming because his NXT whatever, but he has wowed me. I was able to see them when they did the shows out here in Long Beach, the last one that they did in Long Beach, California, at the Pyramid, and man, that dude is over like Rover.
I heard Ishii in Japan is over like crazy over in Japan too. Tomohiro Ishii, like everybody screams for him when he comes out. It's like, how does this guy not have a title yet?
Yeah, Stone Pitbull, man, all day. I might have like the New Japan boxers of Ishii coming in the mail. Like it's just it's a good deal, man. I can't, like, he's like an MMA fighter, like that dude. Like Tomohiro Ishii would fit in the 1970s wrestling, 1950s wrestling, Japan, England, and World of Sport. You put him anywhere, and
I said the same thing. I said the same thing. TNT. Miro, give me Ishii versus Miro now. All right?
Okay, who takes it?
I
takes
don't
it?
know, man. I don't know. I want to say Ishii because I'm biased because I like New Japan better, but that's just me though.
I agree. I totally agree. I don't know what the heck Miro is, man. Like best and that's another one where, AEW has Sonata has won a single Cold Skull. Cold Skull. No, I don't Miro, man, had so much potential as Rusev in the WWE. I don't know what the heck he is, man. Like, like a Versace wearing, gaming, whatever. And if you like that sort of thing, it's amazing. But it's almost like he pigeonholed himself yet again. This is a guy who, by all intents and purposes, where he was in a system where Jinder Mahal won a title after being a jobber. There's no reason why Rusev, now Miro, shouldn't have won a title somewhere. And now he's just, I don't think he cares anymore. Ooh, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad at it. So I say TNT, one of the best bookers in the business. That's not actually in the business.
But
A fan like all of us.
who do you think takes the title?
Man, in AEW or
No,
or in,
New Japan. New Japan. It's vacant now. It's Okada.
It's Sonata. That'd be a good one. Like, because you could go with Tanahashi, and give him another run. You could go with Okada. But here's an interesting deal, and you kind of continue what they were trying to do with Ospreay, right? They wanted somebody new in that title seat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see somebody that hasn't had it, right? I thought what they did with Evil was amazing. I never saw him as a champion, but it was intriguing, So I want to see somebody like Sonata. I want to see like God, who else?
Ishii.
Ishii would be good.
Minoru.
Oh yeah, Minoru Suzuki. That's it. That's it. Minoru Suzuki. This guy right here. That is your New Japan champion right here.
That's cool.
Everyone's saying that on the boards and everything like that. Just give him the belt already. Just give him the belt.
What are you waiting for? For him to turn 60?
and 60, he'll probably still out wrestle everybody.
Yeah, that is true.
Woods, I don't know if you're definitely gonna have to get in talk to this person. We actually are having for New Orleans, this federation, we're getting the CEO, and we're getting the owner of a New Orleans wrestling federation. I don't know if you saw us posted on Dudes at Ringside page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I follow everything you guys are doing. I'm a fanboy.
My dad gets so mad when I post two things in the same day. He gets so mad. I wake up next morning, if I post it, he goes like this. One. That's the face he goes. 1, 2, 3. And I'm just like, Dad, the fans got to know what's going on. I can't keep it away that long. They're going to start thinking people are canceling on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing when you be friends with a guy like Metal Geek all our lives, and then now we are doing a podcast together. And as Geek says, we don't know these people, but you slowly start conversations, and then you become so friendly with them. And then when they come on the show, they tell you stories that you've never even heard, like Damien's Dragons, about the one NYWC that he told us about when Mikey Rickberg was under the ring throwing up. Mm-hmm. And me and Geek were at that show, and we're like, what the heck is Damien looking at?
Yeah.
And like,
and the table broke too.
Yeah.
They didn't break. No, it wasn't a prop table. It was a
regular
real
table that they do a board meeting with. A solid wood table.
Yeah, and they say wrestling's fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boo. Boo anyone that says that.
No.
Yeah. Boo this man out of the John Cena. Boo this man.
It may be fake. it may be fixed, but it's not fake.
No. No. Man.
You know?
I mean, if pro wrestling's fake, then politics, that's fake. Because
Exactly.
face,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Everything is pro wrestling. Everything is pro wrestling.
Movies.
Sports,
Movies.
like whatever. If you notice, right? Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Richard Sherman, anybody that's done, LeBron James, anybody that's done anything, even in regular traditional sports, right? They've been fans of pro wrestling. And they were able to transcend their genre. Once in a lifetime type talents because of their initial investment as a kid. Yep. Life is all about working the gimmick. 100%. I think, what is it? Jim Cornette said, if you can't work your gimmick, you can't work.
I would love to get him on our show. Oh my God, Cornette. Oh, he probably charge a bundle.
Oh, sign me up. Send me the PayPal, Jim. That's what I'm saying.
Oh God, I would love to get Cornette. Oh,
The stories you tell.
oh my God.
Dude, I would love to see like Jim Cornette on Joe Rogan. Imagine that.
Oh, God.
Oh man.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
And especially like how, it's funny because Rogan had Undertaker and what have you. And, Rogan will say that he's not a fan, but then you start talking like Ric Flair and Bruno Sammartino because he's he was not born in Boston, but he grew up in Boston. So when you talk about like that northeastern seaboard, kind of contingent of the, late 70s, early 80s, like Rogan's all in. He's as much a mark as any one of us.
That's another guy I would want to get on our show, but I heard some weird things about Rogan. I don't know. I would want to have him on the show, but I don't know if he would be.
You'd never get him, Joe. You never. It's wishful thinking, right?
I don't know. I just think he'd probably make fun of us because we're so new at this game. But we act like we're professionals. We don't ask the question, the customer, the guest, stupid questions. We're spot on. We're professional. We're laid back. But we're not scattered like someone called us. You know who you are.
Joe Rogan said, couldn't have said it better. Don't read the comments, man. Like, it's not like, of course, people that are commenting on here and everything like that, but like, if it's a bad thing, like, you guys know why you did this, right? You guys know why you did this.
Yeah.
Right. So that shouldn't matter. And that's anybody, right? There's going to be people that are going to say, you're not the best. You don't have this. You don't whatever. When I first started my podcast, I did it for my phone. I've interviewed Josh Barnett and Frank Trigg and UFC Hall of Famers from my phone. Boz Rutan from my phone. So don't, you don't have to have, if you wait around to, maybe I'm going to have this. Maybe I can afford a GoPro or a computer or this and that. Well, the time will pass you by. You got to do it right now. That's anything in life. Whatever it is that you want to achieve, you can't let anyone dissuade you from it because your purpose and your path in this life is different, right? Different from your brother, your mom, best friend, what have you. And sometimes they align, and that's great. But then they could also go all to hell, And so if you guys are enjoying what you're doing, you guys,
exactly.
And I've been on podcasts, like I've been co-host of a podcast of, two different guys and everything. It's hard to manage. Plus a guest, so if you guys got a synergy that you guys work with and are happy with, of course you can improve this and that and everything. And constructive criticism is always awesome, right? We all want to improve, right? But if it's not constructive and they're just poking fun at you, well, is it really worth your time?
Yeah.
No.
For me, my nervous interview we ever had out of all the people we interviewed, it had to be my wrestling bestie, as Lance calls her, Foxy. Because me and Foxy been friends for 20, what is it, Lance? 20, I think I said it, 20 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And for me, she's like a friend, like a bestie. Like,
yeah.
If it wasn't for Foxy, I wouldn't love the Indies so much because I met her at a point in my life after college, and like me and Lance Geeky were still hanging out, but I met her and we just started talking and we became like friends. And I had like a tape. I'll have to send you a picture of it of Damien's matches from NYWC or Jersey, like mixed up matches on like cassette tape that they were selling. Because indie wrestlers, yes, fans were selling cassette tapes in the late 2000s still. I bought it, a drawing that Damien doesn't even have the tape. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't even have the tape. If my dad said, Randy, you should send him, like, that's my only autograph I have of Damien Dragon. I don't have anything of Damien autographed. Back then, Lance Geeky knows, I would only go with my pocket enough to go to get my ticket. I never got a shirt for Damien. I never bought an NYWC t-shirt, a hat, nothing. I would go with a regular t-shirt on, and I would bring a disposable camera, and I would take pictures like a motherfucker.
There was no phone cameras back then. There was just disposable cameras back then,
Right,
if you
yeah.
remember.
I
So
remember
or regular cameras. There was none of that back then. Now you could just go with a phone.
Damien, in the same role. I think I was in the same role because I sent the pictures to Damien and Foxy. I have a picture with Damien. I have a picture with Foxy, and it was me with my Yankee hat and my Metallica shirt on, and Foxy and Tara. And Damien said it, and he's like, Joe, I could tell you have so much respect for Foxy and me. My hand wasn't even on Foxy's shoulder. It was like this. My thumb wasn't even touching her. It was like up that high. And I was like, dude, Damien, that's how much I have respect for you. I know not to touch your lady.
Yeah.
See, Joe, you could have put your hand on her shoulder. And I was like, I don't know. I was just like,
Those two are incredible. They are a pro wrestling love story that there aren't too many in pro wrestling that are as successful and loving as Damien Dragon and Foxy. They're just incredible people. Man, I was telling Damien, like, when I had him on the show, I was like, dude, I read about your win in PWI. Like, this is wild that I have you here. You know, like, and we were talking about, like, Greek god Papadon, right? And I don't know if you guys saw it, but a couple years back, Papadon got into a little scuffle with one Blake Bulletproof Troop, pro MMA fighter, and now he does the commentary for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood and United Wrestling Network under Dave Marquez. And he actually commentated this last incarnation of Josh Barnett's Bloodsport over in Florida. But they got in, Papadon and Troop got into it at a show. Well, the video that came out, I'm the one who took it. And
What?
he was like,
You
you that guy? I was like, yeah, I'm that guy. So it's just fun how, like, things come together, right? And especially you two. You guys are on the Northeast. Here in Southern California, we're kind of the hub for, like, MMA and, of course, like, with the PWGs and the Pro Wrestling Ultra. PCW Ultra, I should say. We got a contingent, but it's nothing like Northeast. I think the Northeast has some of the best wrestling promotions, wrestlers, and wrestling fans the world over.
We're also having on May 28th, we're having. He wrestles in Boston. I don't know if you ever heard of The Last Great Manager.
Chad Epic.
Chad Epic. Chad Epic. And also from the same indie fed, we're having Big Juicy.
Yeah, Big Juicy.
Yes, Big Juicy. I landed her, and I know you made our promo. Like, I love when they make us promos. It just makes us they say your name, and they say your show. And we had Dickie Rods, the heart and soul of NY. He's coming on our show, the heart and soul of NYWC. And I said this to my mom. I said, my mom watched the promo and she said, Randy, wow, after all those years, you and Lance, you and Kiki, well, she said Lance, you and Lance going to NYWC. Does it feel weird that he said your name after all those years of you watching him on the other side? I said, Mom, not for nothing. It actually felt a little weird.
No, 100%. But it's also the work that you guys have put in. You know, not just as fans, but taking it one step further to get the tales and stories of the people who you guys love so dearly. You know, and I think it comes across, pretty well.
And also our history with wrestling. Lance is like the indies, and he's indies, and he's like newer. He's in New Japan, and I'm old school.
Mm-hmm.
I bring in the old school WWF, WCW, like NWA stuff, the golden era. I call it the green era because the green era is like the old stuff you would see, and we patch it all together in this big beautiful wall of fame of old school and new school coming around for a big happy welcome hug. That's how we get Dudes at Ringside podcast.
Yeah.
We're the past, present, and the future. Originally, we were supposed to be called the wrestling time machine.
Yeah.
And how I do my intro, hello there, wrestling fans. I was gonna take it from Back to the Future. I was gonna go, Kiki, we gotta get in the time machine. You were like, what? Why? We gotta go to the future, and the fans don't understand the past. And then the show was supposed to start, but then the ends found out it was taken. And also, the other name that we were supposed to use was Ring Rats.
Whoa!
You know what that means, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, we didn't know. I thought Ring Rats, and I thought it was cool, like Ring Rats. It sounds like a cool name, like you're by the ringside.
Ooh, yeah, good on you for not taking that one.
We avoided that giant bullet.
That might have been weird.
Pretty weird.
Okay, Joe. You're a WCW guy, right? What was your favorite WCW era pay-per-view?
Oh my gosh, it had to be Halloween Havoc.
Okay.
I think, I would say, I know Marauder. I know I'm a Ring. Oh God, no! Ring Rat. Panther, we eat rats for a living. No, we don't. We don't do that to rats. I would have to be like, in like the '99, the Halloween Havoc, that Halloween Havoc set with that skull, with the pumpkin, with the skull face. Oh man, you can't go wrong with a Halloween Havoc with the cemetery and the grave bouncing up and down.
Yeah,
like, come on. And also I love Howard Finkel, but the WCW ring announcer, Gary Michael Capetta.
Oh, yes.
And now coming down the aisle from Venice Beach, California, this is Sting. Like, I met him at an ROH show.
Really?
Oh my gosh. And I said, can you just say, like, Kid Crazy? Because that was my name in the 2K games for a while. I still do. Marauder knows. And he'd go, what? He's like, what's your name in the games? I was like, Kid Crazy. He's like, Kid Crazy. I was like, had to like walk away. I was like, thank you, sir. But I never got a chance to meet Howard Finkel.
Oh man, I feel the same way. Oh, I like it.
Oh yes, Eddie Guerrero. My first experience with Rey Mysterio as a child, because Rey Mysterio is like next to my grandfather, Rey Mysterio is like my favorite luchador. The first match I ever watched with him, he did a Hurricane Rana. He went from he jumped from turnbuckle to turnbuckle to turnbuckle to turnbuckle. And the last one, he jumped in Hurricane Rana and won the match. That's talent.
Yeah, it is.
Talent right there. You can look that up on YouTube. It's up there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I fanned. I was like, whoa, this guy is amazing. He's my favorite wrestler of all time now.
So, okay, what do you guys, honest to goodness, well, before we get that, so my favorite WCW era pay-per-view, and it was a series, right? And they stopped it, like after Hogan. But Slamboree.
Oh yeah, I
Legends
like the
Continue.
Slammers. They were cool.
Yeah, those were great. They would have the Hall of Fame the same night. You know, guys like Luthez and Nick Bockwinkel, who you probably had never heard of at that point. You know, guys like Thunderbolt Patterson. You know, where if Dusty Rhodes and superstar Billy Graham basically had like a literally like a father, a wrestling father, it's Thunderbolt Patterson, especially Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes pretty much ripped off everything from the speech to the way he moved in the ring. It's all Thunderbolt Patterson, and you got to see Thunderbolt Patterson. Yes, he was in advanced age. I think he was mid 50s at the first Slamboree, but the way he moved and everything like that, there was no reason why you had no like inclination that this guy didn't draw money. That dude grew money at at a time where, especially in the South, like as a person of color, to, yeah, man, like Thunderbolt Patterson or Wahoo McDaniel, like that,
Yeah.
like Slamboree, that was aside from like Mania 10, I think there was like 93, 92, 93, 94 were probably the most like watch wrestling pay-per-views that I watched as a kid going to the video store.
There was also another pay per view that I don't know if you would fall by this too. What's it called? Civil War, World War Three with the
World War
three
Three,
rings.
yeah, the triple
Oh, that was
rings.
a that was a knockdown. They used it with NXT. But man, WWE needs to bring that back and have all the stables they need to fight.
Yeah, and it's a weird one, right? Because like the WWE has all of these. So they didn't do World War Three, but they did War Games, which is
Yeah,
going to
War
be
Games. Yeah, the War Games.
yeah,
Yeah, not World War Three. The War Games. I like the War Games.
right.
World War
But
Three. They did World War Three, but War Games. It always had this weird touch. And I think it was on Instagram. I was sitting there looking at all the videos they have up there, like clips. I don't know if TNT would go with this too. They showed a clip. Scott Hall was trash. I mean, trash. He walked into the wrong ring, and then he started walking. The referee's like, he's like,
yes, yeah.
and he almost went into the middle of the ring. He like literally had to put his feet over
Hmm.
and get into the other. He almost fell between the ring.
Yeah.
If I didn't, good thing the announcer didn't really like kayfabe it and catch what he was doing. But I was like, see, Spotify, they can't see my face, but the man
Yeah.
almost fell between the ring. That's the other
One of
thing.
the biggest stars.
Yeah, that's another thing that's surprising for me.
I know this is a silly question, but would you ever call a zombie match?
Would I call one?
Yeah, would you? How would you
There's
feel?
not much to go. Like, that's pretty much it. Like,
Yeah, from this past weekend, man. What was that? And then AEW was. Did you see the meme about AEW or no? They said it's like a bad idea from bad booking, and then people in the comments had the was it the Orange Cassidy match when he dumped Jericho in the orange juice or whatever,
yes, the Meltzer
and
match.
that there was other ones where it's like, what about this one or the sparkler or
Oh my god, we were making fun of that. Like me and
the
Geek, we were like
sparkler.
sparklers. Oh no.
Man. So you know what's even funnier about the it wasn't just the zombies, but it was the tweets of one Dave Batista, right, during that day, right? Because he tweeted before, supposedly he tweeted. It came from his profile, right? But he was just like, I can't be there at WrestleMania Backlash, but I'm sending friends, right?
Oh god.
Right? So that's what he posted, right? And that could have been a sponsored tweet by Netflix or some PR person or whatever, right?
It was.
But that came from his Twitter, right? Then somebody after the zombie thing, somebody was like, "Yo, you brought friends?" Something to that effect, right? And he was just like, "I would never book that ish, like what, you know? But it was like it came from your profile that you were sending friends. Like
Yeah,
what? Like you backpedaled, but it came from your profile. So who's
it
running your
did,
profile?
but he was probably being told, okay, say this in your tweet. Here's like $1 million. Say this in your tweet, and we'll
Right,
pay you. You know, that's all. You know.
right. But theoretically speaking, right? If he was that like over, like I hate to say it, over the edge, he was livid, right? Um, then why didn't you say that when they were giving you the $1 million? Or like, I'm not gonna tweet that. Like zombies,
I'm not tweeting that,
whatever.
right?
Yeah, exactly. He
So
had a
he
chance to
should have
pull
been
out.
like, he should have been like, I'm Batista. I'm not saying that, right?
Yeah, he had a
Right?
chance to pull out, and he
There's
didn't.
there's
Right?
And
another
when he got
girl.
asked about it, and I love Dave Bautista, but yeah, man, like, why didn't you? What happened to that tweet beforehand? You know, you were all about that life, all about that zombie life, and
There's
But
then
I
another.
do want to see the movie though. I don't know if you saw it yet, the Army of the Dead, or
yeah,
was it
I
good
also
or
want to see the Walter Mercado documentary, but it looks like I don't even have to because Vince McMahon is cosplaying as Walter Mercado.
no? But what? No, did you see it yet, or it came out today in the Army of the Dead?
I haven't seen it yet,
No,
so I think that might be, obviously, the Dudes at Ringside podcast is what I'm watching first. I scoured through your archives to see all the brilliance that you were doing. So I'm sorry, Dave Bautista, you're gonna have to wait because Joe the Panther Jr. and Metal Geek they come first.
Yeah, man. We try.
they
And
should
like
do a zombie
we
woman
also
thing.
another girl you should try to get. She's also from Canada. Jessie Mack.
Jesse Mack, okay.
Jesse Mack, and then we have Bella
Yes.
Bronx. Bella Bronx from Miss Bella Bronx, the Mafia Princess. Another good
Ooh.
one. They were trained. All three women, Amy Crimson, Jesse Mack, and Bella Bronx, all trained in the same training facility, Santino Morella's.
Yeah, we just had Amy
Yeah, the
on my.
battle
We had
arts, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Seems like good stuff over there.
They're treating, I mean, pretty tough up there in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. I mean, it's not just pro wrestlers, but they're
yes,
training out, mixed martial artists and everything.
yeah.
Yeah,
That I guess Jessie Mack, she's been really busy, I guess, with family stuff. I would love to get a promo for her because her character seems like what's her name? It seems like her character's almost like Alexa Bliss.
Hmm.
Is the picture promo that she has? She's on the phone. She's like, and I'm like, we gotta get a promo from her. But as I said this to Geek when I was looking at our calendar, we get picked by a lot of female wrestlers. Geek makes fun of me for that. Geek gets on my case for that.
You know what? It's whoever's available, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
I never get in that deal. It's just whoever wants to tell the story. There'll be a point where I do a week worth of like female wrestlers, 2 weeks of dudes, then MMA fighters, then jumping back to pro wrestling and a singer here and whatever. It's just getting people's story. And
Yeah.
I don't like Visage is a great get too over in the UK. Um, Transgender.
Yeah, I
Wrestler.
saw that on your page. I made
She's great. She's
Right.
absolutely phenomenal. Like my wife, like that one. I mean, when it's over, over in a wrestling term, not my marriage. Good lord, but no, when my wife was reacting, it was like I love Visage or whatever, and I was like, oh my gosh, like my wife watches, but she doesn't react to it in real time. Man, shout out to Visage for winning me points with the misses.
Yeah, like if you talk to her again, tell her, hey, my buddies at Dudes at Ringside podcast, you should still hit them up. Like we don't discriminate men or women. We definitely love everybody, and every guest always gets their props,
Hmm.
and it doesn't matter what you love. It's better how you feel in your heart.
No, 100%, 100%. It's just, there, especially in the last couple of years, right, where all of that stuff is, been in question, and we just this is like stuff like this, right? Like we're the only way we're gonna figure things out, right? Whether that be wrestling, whether that be beyond wrestling, right? Is us talking to each other, bring out the
Yeah.
best in each other, working together, right? Because can't expect somebody else to do your work, for you. We have to do it. And yes, there's going to be people. There's going to be, stumbling blocks along the way. There's going to be things that you don't agree with, or from the other person. That's fine. That's what makes us unique. If you like the Young Bucks, cool. I'm not going to crap on you for liking the Young Bucks. It might not be my cup of tea, but kudos to you, man. Like, amazing. If you're a gal that your favorite match was something of Naomi, cool. You're a fan though, right? Cool. We can vibe. We can, understand each other a little bit better.
Yeah. So, do you have any advice for us as new and up and comers? I know you're new as well, but like, if you've seen stuff that we done on our past shows, like,
I say, be yourself, right? That sounds like I'm going to throw my hat to the audio slave. Be yourself is all you can do. That's literally it, right? Because for years, right? I've only been doing the podcast less than a year, right? July 1st will be the 1 year anniversary, which is weird to say. But with that all being said, there were a lot of times when I was doing interviews, and the audio sucked. There was no audio. The reception was bad. I didn't look cosmetically appeasing on camera. Like, I heard it all, and here we are, like 5 years later, and I'm still here. There are people that started podcasts, started doing interviews and all that stuff like that, and some of them are gone, right? Some of my contemporaries, they're gone. They don't want to do it anymore. Do it for the love of this. To be able
We love to
tap
do
into
it, you know?
people's
Geeky and I met in college. I don't know if you heard past episode. We met in college because Lance needed a person to work with. They say he was a freshman. I was like a sophomore, so he needed a sophomore to be with him. So they made me be like when you're a kid and you have to have a parent driver. So I had to be like the adult. I had to be the adult in the room. Ugh, I hate being the adult in the room. And we started doing his show, and I'd play. It was my show, so he had to come in and just learn the ropes. So I did like a heavy metal count. I'm a big fan of like Tool and Metallica and Linkin Park, and then I would toss in with some Snoop Dogg and some like NWA and stuff like that. And then I stop my countdown, and then me and Lance would just break down the Ruthless Aggression Raws and SmackDowns, and also talk about Ring of Honors, because that's why I'm so in love with the independent scene, is because
there you go. There's the ring. He's showing you the ring.
What is that? What are the
Ring of Honor ring.
Oh wow! How did you land one of those, big guy?
I'll send you the eBay link. There's only 7 left from Figures Inc., and it comes with the this era title as well as tag team, the other world champion, the one that like Adam Cole.
How much is it cost?
Held. So it's like one tag team. There was 4. So the old school, Samoa Joe, CM Punk style one, which I have now. One of the tag team belts. I think that's the version that the Young Bucks held. The TV championship, where it looked like the old school, what is it? The NWA 6-man tags, the long kind of circle and whatever. And then, I think that was it. Like 2 worlds, the TV and the tag. Yeah, man, it was a pretty good price, and it even has.
Wow! Oh, how much was that ring?
I'll tell you off air, because if I told you, somebody might scoop it up before you.
Yeah.
There's only like 7 left in the world, and I remember seeing these in like PWI. Probably about 5 years ago.
How much it is? Sorry about that, man. Sorry about that, bro.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, I'll send you guys. It's on eBay. It's on eBay. So you if you look at the Wrestling Inc. or Wrestling Figures Inc.
Mm.
eBay page,
All
you'll
right, I'll
see
check
them,
that out.
and you're like for what they charge for one ring, right? And you get the set of four. It's almost like buy two get two free.
That's not bad. Yeah, so Geek got me into Ring of Honor because he showed me. He's like, Joe, you want to see these tapes I got? I'm like, okay, I don't know what, because college kids, I don't know what kind of tape you're going to be showing me.
Yeah,
Well, he showed me these.
spin.com.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be seeing some early,
Oh.
late 2000 porno on tapes. And then he's showing me these these guys in these small arenas beating the living tar at each other. I'm like, what is this? Good matches. Who's this guy? Oh, this is CM Punk. Who's this guy? Daniel Bryant before his Daniel Bryant. And who's this guy? CM Punk. What the hell's CM Punk?
Yeah, they used to laugh at me when I was watching Ring of Honor, like, "Oh, these guys are never gonna make it. These guys are never gonna make it."
And he showed me, and I started going to like places like the Rexplex with Geek, and I would go to this place and that place, and I started becoming like a super fan. Like I went to a show, I think Geek was, I don't know if he was there or not. By me in Pennsylvania, we didn't have power for 10 days.
What?
Woods. And I somehow got through the snow to Milford, where I live in my town. Yeah, I know he is very much overrated. Started, got in my town, got in the car with my buddy Justin, aka Balor Club guy, which is another nice guy you have to hook up with to do a podcast with. Balor Club guy, he's a big WWE fan, and also got into town, got into New York City. I don't know how, the grace of God, got into New York. Got a chance to, we went to, I forgot what show it was. I think it was all I know is I'm online and people are talking about this. And I said, and Justin's like, don't say it, Joe. And I said, we have no power in my town right now. We've been out of power. We've been out of power for 9 days. And they're like New Yorkers are all like, really? How did you shower? In the dark. I'm in the dark showering, getting ready for a wrestling show. Like, I gotta get ready for this wrestling show. I can't see shit.
What did they say? The bum's bath. That's it. You know.
Yeah.
Take a moist towelette and just.
I was showering in the dark, screaming, "I better not miss this fucking wrestling show!" I had to shovel snow, get it out of the park on the driveway so I can get down in town. My dad, we were going down the windy road. My dad's like, "Randy, I don't think we're gonna make it." I said, "We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. I gotta go to the show." Made it. I had to walk down the road because my friend was in his nice little car. His car wasn't crashing, so I had to walk down the street to my house with a messed up road and everything. Good friends, right?
I would say so. That story popped my wife. Just so you guys, just so you know, like she was like, "That's funny. That's great." So
yeah, but like I was saying, like before, that they like the tapes that I used to watch. Oh, like people used to tell me, "Oh, why you watch this? No, these guys are not going to make it. These guys are not going to make it." And after a while, everybody on that tape is now in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
You got CM Punk, Samoa Joe, Bryan Danielson. Who else was on that show? Cesaro was another one. Chris Hero, all those guys. Samoa Joe,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of talent, and I'm probably leaving people out right now.
No, Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan. That one I never thought he would be there because he'd, had so many tryouts and all that stuff, and him versus, like heck, they passed on AJ Styles, So
yeah, that's another one. Yeah,
those are the two. Like I never thought they would not just be there, but do as well as they have for the size that they are. Nothing against the talent, but I was just like, yeah, they're never going to be there, and especially when, AJ was done with Impact, TNA, right? Like they passed on him, and he had this tremendous career in Japan, and good for him, but like I'm so proud of those dudes because like they became like bigger than even what Vince McMahon thought they could be. In many
Exactly.
ways. And going back to Benoit, right? This might be a controversial kind of sentiment, but I actually think that Daniel Bryan, had the WWE run that was going to be reserved for Benoit 10 years beforehand, right?
Mhm.
Indie darling, right? Technical savants, just did everything well. Similar body types, right? Flying headbutts, right?
Uh-huh.
So in many ways, I feel, and I'm not dissuading his talent. The talent is obviously there, right?
Thanks, TNT,
Yep,
by the
Tyler
way.
Black, Kevin Steen, El Generico. Hey, now El Generico retired to go to some monastery in Mexico and
To
save
take care of the
orphans.
orphans. He's going to take care of the orphans. So
exactly.
he's not around anymore.
But from what I hear in the smoke screen, what is it? The smoke signal, that he does like Sami Zayn.
He trained him.
I can't confirm that, but
He trained him.
yeah,
He
yeah,
trained
he
he
did.
trained Sami Zayn. So that's why he knows all of his moves.
Yeah, see, Metal Geek with all the scoops. Just
Yeah, he's a scoop guy. And it's funny, he's the scooper. And actually, when we had the dirty heels, we were doing our dream matches, and Marauder puts in rest in peace New Jack. And I thought he was just doing that because the match we put him in. I go on Instagram and I put my phone up. Something in my head said, "Look at your phone, Joe.
Yeah.
Look at your phone,
It
Panther."
was Nick Gage versus New
My
Jack.
Instagram feed was blowing up with pictures of New Jack, and I just picked my head up and I went, "Guys, New Jack died."
yeah,
I mean, I broke the news about New Jack's death on the show. Nobody knew.
right.
Nobody's gonna believe. Nobody's gonna believe. Nobody's gonna believe you. I was like, I felt like I broke the news. It felt like I was like, toon, 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 toon. Hi, I'm Joe Panther Jr. Breaking news today. That's what I feel like. By being a podcast, you break news to the world.
You didn't break the
Yeah.
news.
Yep.
Marauder broke the
Wow.
news.
Oh, yeah, Marauder broke the news. But Marauder, we thought you were saying that he died in a match. In that match we were doing until we thought you were just saying he died in the match we had him in. And then
It really happened.
we didn't know it was like you were saying it like that. That's why I said that. I was like, oh, there's another girl that you should try to hit up that we just announced as our guest for one of the shows. What's her name? Oh, it's her name is GYPSY Mac.
Oh, Gypsy
Mac.
Gypsy Mac.
She got some mic skills. That girl she got mic skills. Another heel. As I said, my grandfather was a golden era heel, and as ever so spiffy said this, your grandfather is like watching out for you on this show, man. His spirit is like. But Geeky laughs. He says your grandfather is sending you all the heels. Every heel that you can get, he's like, or we get the weirdos. It's like we built our studio next to the portal.
Vortex.
What's that?
The
The vortex.
Like a
Yeah.
vortex or something.
Like the girl from OVW again in the Mountain Valley Wrestling.
Oh yeah. OVW.
Yeah, the girl from OVW that I told you about.
Sin.
No,
No. Maybe is her name Sin in OVW?
Lilith Grimm.
Yeah, Lilith Grimm.
Oh, Lilith Grimm. Okay, I was
Yeah.
thinking Sin as in Cornette's wife because she managed Batista in OVW.
Yeah,
way
Lilith
back in the day.
Grimm. Like, did we create our studio next to like the Ghost World? And then we had another one you should try to hit up. Our buddy Tamaku, the Savage Juggernaut.
Really?
He's very interested. He's awesome. He puts on a great
He's
interview.
hilarious. He is so he keeps a gimmick going during the whole show. He says, does the funny Kamaku, eat all the food. Like it's funny. He makes it funny. He makes it funny.
And that's always awesome, right? Like having guests that or just be open to whatever it is that you know, kind of want to do, and you know, not limit or relegate any given thing. Like those are always fun, don't you feel?
Yeah, like as I said, like there was a guest. I'm not gonna say that the guest. It was a female. Like we were getting ready. I was setting it on the phone. I was like this and that, and I said something. I said, "So can you spell out your name so I could get the ball rolling?" And she's
Yeah.
like, "Do you not know who I am?" And I
Ooh.
said, "Not really." I did. I said, and the person said, "Well, why are you inviting me on your show then?" And I quickly went back and I deleted the thing. And my dad said, "You're doing a service for them. You're getting their name out there." And as I say on the show all the time, my thing is I'm the mod on the Dudes at Ringside page, and I love the indie scene. I want to get these people's name out there. That's why I talk to the indie wrestlers. I want these people to possibly one day be in Ring of Honor or in WWE or AEW or NWA.
Yeah.
I want these people to be on a level that they can't even explain. Like, oh, wow, when I'm Dudes at Ringside page, now I'm in NWA or I'm in AEW. Wow.
Or according to Woods.
Yeah,
Well, I
okay.
saw this
Hang
person,
out
or,
with
I'm
the
in
right?
Woods.
Woods podcast.
Someone according to Woods, right?
Yeah, we sent him to Woods. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna have like I'd say our biggest guest we ever had was like at this point right now is Kiara from England.
Hmm.
I
Oh
never
yeah, the Stevie
knew
Ray
who
one was
Kiara
pretty
was.
was
Do you
amazing.
do you know who Kiara was after, like before?
No, I did research though after you told me about the guest. So I did
Yeah,
research and watched all the
she's a
matches.
submission.
So
She's a submission, and she's tall and skinny. So she's tall. She's a tall little beanpole. You think like, oh, she's probably like, no, she was trained by a great. She was trained by Lance Storm.
Really?
Yeah, she was trained by Lance Storm, Lance Storm's training facility.
The
So
Storm
she has
Wrestling
some.
Academy, right?
Call from Pat Phelps.
That's my mom. Sorry. Yeah, she was trained by Lance Storm.
Damn. So
Yeah.
she's probably got some iconic stories, maybe.
Oh, her stories. You definitely have to hurry up and ask her stories because she told us, and we're like,
yeah,
"Hello, yes, what's up, Marauder? What happened? What's wrong, Geek? Why is Marauder saying hello?" Mike Woods, please. Who's
Mike Wood, please.
Mike Wood, please. Okay.
Who's Mike? Did I miss it?
Phone was ringing.
phone, the phone. Oh, he meant the phone. Now that's getting on Spotify. People are like, why is their phone ringing on your Spotify? That's my mom calling my dad saying she arrived in Boston. Like and that's the thing. Like when you live on the East Coast, you tend to get called by people from talk to by people from the East Coast. We had people contacting us from England, like Shorty, Kiara. What's the name of the dude that's coming on also from England? Riley,
Jason Hyde.
Jason Hyde from Scotland.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have did the accent. Sorry, Mr. Hyde. So sorry. So sorry. I'm so sorry. This is the mod. He's so sorry. He didn't mean to say that. He was just trying to be funny. Don't get mad at him, please. Yeah, we got somebody from Scotland. We got Riley from England. We got Kiara. We got Shorty. I said this. I said this to he's not gonna come to the show, but we got the Spanish wrestlers doing our promos. Like I said this to them, and they all like send me the clapping hands. Wrestling does not speak one language; it speaks many languages, and they give me that. language. Wrestling doesn't speak English. It doesn't speak Spanish. It speaks every language. It speaks every language.
That's also kind of like Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli.
Mhm.
He knows like 8 damn languages, and it's kind of cool where if you've seen him do like international like promo spots and everything like that, and he's speaking fluently in like a different dialect of what have you, and you see the joy come out of the reporters' faces because like it's just like, oh, some Swiss wrestler from the WWE, whatever, or just a WWE guy, and they're having a conversation in their native language.
Mhm.
It's amazing.
And it's also for me being known now in like different our voices and our faces are being seen in different countries like the United Kingdom.
Hmm.
Did you ever thought you would be known in like England?
Not, no, man, not at all. I mean, obviously, you dream, right? You dream, right? You see other successful podcasts and whatever. One day that would be me, right? But
Yeah.
it's we're going on like almost 4 weeks straight where Big Femme Vader, Aisha Raymond, who that might be a get for you guys, but she runs Fierce Females out in Scotland from
Mm.
London originally, was in the very first Mae Young Classic, and
Wow.
like we've been doing shows. Like I was just a SoCal guy before March 31st, right? And not and a SoCal MMA guy, right? Now, and it's weird because my career has kind of gone through these weird iterations. I started out doing like jujitsu, just as a, I love grappling. In my mind, I wanted to be Stu Hart. And Brett was cool. Owen is amazing. But Stu wrestled bears. Like he could choke out a bear, right? So I
Yep.
want to be Stu Hart. And, I took up jujitsu and then ended up meeting this guy who was a videographer for like the Amazing Race, and he was just like, I want to film MMA. I could do stuff better than UFC embedded and everything like that. And I was like, hey, there's a couple guys. There's a guy at my gym who's having a fight. Like maybe we can do something with him. And we did like 12 promo pieces that got seen by Bellator and King of the Cage and all this stuff, right? And then that unfortunately, like that dude had to move away, couldn't do it. But then I started doing interviews on my
Oh,
phone,
wow.
right? Started doing interviews at MMA shows and stuff like that, right? And people that saw me doing the MMA interviews and stuff like that, they didn't even know, the stuff that I did in terms of the promo packages, right? And
Mhm.
then, you know, now this podcast that has only been here since July, 400 plus episodes in, like people don't even know the 5 years of my career prior to this kind of run, right? And it's just weird how, like again, being a so-called guy, everybody was in quarantine. So, hey, I reached out to Scotland, I reached out to England, reached out to Finland, and people responded back because everybody was locked down. Nobody could
So
big league you and say, I got something better to do. What? Watch Netflix? That's it, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And, I really took this time to, you know, make sure that regardless of what was going to happen with the world, quarantine, COVID, protests, political, blah, whatever, I wanted to make sure that coming out of this, I'd be stronger in terms of a storyteller, in terms of my reach to people, collaborating with other podcasters, you know, and just telling stories that in a way that maybe they haven't been told before, or maybe they haven't been told to this particular audience, one that I've cultivated. So, yeah, long story short, I hoped at some point, but man, here we are, and with the power of the internet, the power of StreamYard, you can reach everybody. I didn't have a Twitch channel before this. I was doing periodic Facebook Lives. Now I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch simultaneously as a guy that doesn't know how to edit. Just
There's
saying.
another guy that you should try to hook up with. He's on Facebook. His name is Tom Clark. He does
Okay.
Tom Clark's Main Event. He does some awesome stuff. He's from the South, right? Right, Geek?
Yeah.
So
By the way, who's your ultimate dream guest you would love to have on the show? Your show.
I would okay, so you remember how I was saying like Jim Cornette and Rogan should do a podcast? If I
Yeah.
could have both of those or either one of those, Rogan or Jim Cornette. And it doesn't have to be a whole hour, whatever.
30
However
minutes?
long they'd give me.
Yeah.
That I think those would be it, you know, and especially, you know, Rogan as well as Cornette, right? Those are some of the first. I got into like the wrestling podcast game late, right? So I know Colt Cabana was doing the Art of Wrestling and everything like that, but like I came in right around like Court Bauer's MLW podcast, and even the What's Good Party People, like that actually comes from like Kevin and Bean, who are, you know, K-Rock here in LA for like 30 years. They were on the air, the LA Rock station, right? And then I used to do We Are Out. That was an ode to Court Bauer, because when him, Conan, and MSL were, doing the MLW podcast before it spawned out to other different podcasts, Court Bauer would go, We Are Out. So, you know, Kevin and B, those were my odes to the giants that I'd listened to, and basically fuse them together. Use a little bit of Kevin and Bean at the start, and then Court Bauer at the end.
How's the situation in LA right now? Is it getting better or is it getting worse?
Apparently, so I've been, for the most part, in since March, right? Which is nuts, right?
Yeah.
But apparently we're June 15th is what, that's a Tuesday, that supposedly everything is open back up, 100% capacities. So, and it's funny because so that's a Tuesday. The 19th, that Saturday, it will be the first MMA show that, you know, I think, the first MMA show, because there's boxing here, but those are like Oscar De La Hoya and big brands, and that, you know, that could afford to have no audience, right? They have big TV deals. So June 19th will be the first time that there has been MMA in California since late February 2020. So that's what's happening. Hopefully, nobody gets sick.
Yeah. So knock on wood, right?
Because
I'm Woods.
NYWC,
I'm gonna knock on myself.
Woods, yeah.
NYWC, the indie fed that Geek Guy like going to, they're actually planning on me. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. They're gonna do their first ever outdoor show.
So hopefully this summer, like they're going to start opening stuff up this summer, because right now they haven't really done independent shows over here in New York. They do GCW, a lot of GCW, which is smaller shows, but like a lot of shows in New York have not happened since the pandemic started. So that would be big for New York if that happens.
It's really 3:28 a.m. TNT. Wow, man, you dedicated to us, man.
Thank you so much.
TNT is
My
the best.
mom would come downstairs and give me the whipping of my life if I was up at 3:38 in the morning.
Thank you so much for the support
the
and still
man.
staying up late, by the way.
Dedicated, boy.
He's
Thank
the
you.
man.
Yeah, you make us smile. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you
Make
so
us
much.
little Santa smile.
Definitely go give his page a sub. Like, again, the dream matchups that he has on that channel, amazing. Just
I already
impeccable.
subbed to him. I subbed to him already, so we
Yeah.
follow him already. So me and Joe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go say
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe. Okay, so are those the shirts that you're rocking of your family member? Are those available for purchase?
Oh no, but I could probably see if I have one in the house. I don't know. I'll look and see if my dad will let one loose. I gotta check. I'll ask him. But I'll ask.
If there's some dead stock, man, you might have a buyer in me. I
All
love,
right, cool.
yeah.
I just looked when I was looking at my phone before. I actually got the thing you sent me with the ring. I was like, man, you missed my birthday. You missed the birthday of the Panther, April 29th.
Wait,
What-
whose birthday?
My birthday was April 29th. You missed it.
Wait, are you a Taurus?
Yes, I am, sir.
May 7th.
Oh wow, of course. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. You're going too sweet.
There
Yeah,
you go.
yeah.
Damn.
But is there an all-time favorite match you have, or
A favorite match?
yeah?
I'm gonna have to say that first one, right? You never forget your first. So Macho Man versus Bret Hart as one half of the Hart Foundation, flanked by Jimmy Hart and Jim the Anvil, and I think even Danny Davis, the referee, the evil referee.
Oh yeah. Oh god, Dan Davis. Oh jeez. Oh my god,
Yeah.
Dan Davis.
Yeah, so that has to be it. You know, obviously, you know, you've got Okada and
Omega.
actually Tanahashi. You know,
Oh,
a lot
that-
of people, you know, anything that Shinsuke Nakamura did prior to the WWE.
I think my favorite Shinsuke match is him versus Kota Ibushi in the Tokyo Dome.
Yes,
My
preach,
favorite.
preach,
Yeah,
geek,
there
preach.
you go.
Just saying.
That's my all-time favorite Shinsuke match right there. Him, Kota Ibushi, him coming down the ramp with the crown on.
Yes,
that
With the
was a
girls and everything. Yeah.
yeah. That was my all-time favorite Shinsuke match right there.
Yeah, he's, you know, unfortunately, you know, of course, you want a fantasy book or whatever, but like, how could you do a Raw Underground and not have Shinsuke Nakamura, right? This is a guy,
Yeah.
right? I mean, this is a guy who he has a legit, you look him up in Tapology, right? He has a legit MMA like record, even more so than Shibata.
Mhm.
Like, he's legit as it come. You know, at the time where Antonio Inoki wanted all of his wrestlers to be able to be shoot fighters, like Shinsuke Nakamura was like the best of that crop, you know, and still got the slap beat out of him after he had lost. Which, in retrospect, you don't slap somebody after they've taken blows to the head, like. But what we didn't know in the mid 2000s, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of teams they're on that list that they cannot be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Like the Nasty Boys are on that list. I told my dad was sitting there looking at me as he's looking at his iPad, counting how many dudes at ringside stuff that pops up. I was telling him there's like a list of tag teams, the golden era teams that would definitely be in the Hall of Fame, like the Nasty Boys, the Demolition. I was going through names and he was just like, really?
Oh my gosh! I just realized, yeah, Demolition's not in the Hall of Fame, isn't it?
No, they're the longest reigning tag team champions.
They were a WWF creation as
Yeah.
in opposition to the Road Warriors.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the Road Warriors aren't great, but those are your creations, and you don't put them in, but you put. Oh man, that's weird. That's so
Yeah,
weird.
look up. There's a whole list of people that will never go into the Hall of Fame due to the concussion thing that they were
the
like,
lawsuit.
like lawsuit. Yeah, there's a bunch of things on that. That's a must watch on YouTube or whatever you can find it. It's just like, whoa.
Do you have an all-time favorite music or?
Oh, do I? So, I don't know if it's a top 10, but there's multiple, right?
Yeah.
So, obviously, Bret Hart's that sharpshooter theme song.
It could be anything. It could be anything. Any type of music. Like it doesn't have to be wrestling related.
Oh, just anything.
Anything. It could be anything related.
Okay, so I mean, bands that are influential, man, like Audio Slave.
Audioslave.
And I'm a fan of supergroups. I didn't mind because it wasn't of my era, so I didn't mind like Sammy Hagar joining Van Halen. Like it was good music, whether you got David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar. Incredible music. I love 1984 just as much as I like any Hagar album, you know. And they had the most commercial success with Hagar, so I'm not mad at that. I'm really right now. I've been down this Gary Moore deal. He's an Irish guitar, like blues guitar player, just incredible. Yeah, there you go. I might have to do that. Um, who else? I really got into John Entwistle of the Who. His work. I mean, when you talk about all time great like players, if for guitar, you'll talk about Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page, Tommy Iommi of Black Sabbath, a litany of others, right? But for bass, Entwistle is got to be up there. Like if I could have a super group, it would be like on the drums, Neil Peart of Rush.
Yeah.
Then you've got Entwistle from The Who. God, who would sing? It's got to be, you know what? A really underrated singer? Miles Kennedy. Do you guys know Miles Kennedy?
Yes, I know Mike Kennedy. Yeah.
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 And it's
I
crazy.
saw him with he performed with Slash. Miles
Yes.
Kennedy and this Conspirators. That right?
How long ago was that?
That was a long time ago. I think it was when they were touring with Aerosmith.
Funny enough. So that's how I know about Miles Kennedy, right? I mean, I knew his work of Alter Bridge and, with Mark Tremonti from Creed. But the crazy thing about it is I had taken my wife to the Hollywood Palladium to go see Lenny Kravitz for her birthday, right? She'd never been to many concerts and what have you. So I was like, let's do that one. And the tickets were amazing, like $20, right? So I go to the bathroom at the Palladium, a legendary venue here in LA, right? The Ramones played there. Linkin Park has played there. I believe the Jay-Z Linkin Park, whatever, was filmed right there at the Palladium.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we go there and almost like, it's deep in Hollywood. And what ended up happening is I went to the bathroom and they had flyers on the mirror of the bathroom of different shows that were coming up, like the old school, like Rainbow, Bar and Grill, Roxy, all those Sunset Strip bands, right? And it said that Slash and Miles Kennedy were played the next week, like same day, following week.
Yeah.
I literally, before I even got out of the bathroom, I purchased my tickets on Ticketmaster. I was like, hope you're not doing anything, missus, because we're going to go see Slash. And the fact that Miles Kennedy, think about Slash, right? We've got Guns N' Roses. We've got Velvet Revolver. We've got their stuff, right? Which Starlight, the first time I didn't even know about the song Starlight. And apparently it was a part of a movie theme or what have you. But Korn, Rammstein, Du Hast,
Oh,
System of a
yeah.
Down, Kill Switch.
Oh, my
Avenged
God.
Those are my
Sevenfold.
bands right there.
See that I that's another thing. I would love to get a German wrestler to do a promo for us and have it in German. Have them say our little script that we send to the wrestlers, and have them say like, "You're watching Dudes at Ringside podcast," but in German.
Just ask around.
I want to find a German wrestler. I want to find a French wrestler, and I want to find an Italian wrestler. They have them say it in Italian.
I think I can get you some Finnish wrestlers for sure.
And if they don't have to come on the show, they could just make a promo for it and send it to me on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's all I want to have is if they can get a Spanish. We already got Spanish. I want to get got from Mexico. He's on one of our promos. I get a lady from a promotion from Mexico said, "Hey, what are you guys all about?" And I said, "We're just can you just maybe get one of your guys to make a promo? What do we say?" And I sent him our little script. And she's like, "All right, I'll be there soon." And then I send it to Lance. And we say on the show, like, we don't go by real like gimmicks, but like, well, I'm the third generation, but Lance is the heel and I'm the face. I'm a tweener. I've been slowly turning into a heel here and there. I go heel. I get mad and I go heel. But like the Spanish guy in the promo drop says, "My boy Metal Geek." And I was like,
It's like,
Whoa.
you're the one that told him to say the promo. And I'm like, what the
yeah.
hell?
And then I look at he's a heel. He's a Mexican heel. He's the skull face paint on. He's a heel. I'm like, there we go. I didn't even tell me.
That's the reason why.
I didn't even tell him that maybe she watches, but I was like, maybe she knows that Geek's the heel. He said Geek is the heel.
Yeah, but when you guys do the double turn, in about 6 months' time, then it will work.
Yeah, I'm
Right?
working on my heel turn. I'm working on it.
The Bret Hart Stone Cold, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like Stone Cold with
Yes.
the WrestleMania.
the double, the double turn.
Shook Vince's hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Oh
Right.
gosh, there's so much great stuff. That's the cool thing about today's day and age, right? You can pick apart. Oh, social media is this. Oh, blah blah blah. Internet, whatever, ruined everything. But if you're a fan of anything, right? Fan of movies, fan of wrestling, fan of music, whatever. There's so much for you, accessible literally at the tip of your fingers, at the palm of your hand, you know, and there's communities of such things, movie communities, wrestling communities, like little subgenres. There's Reddit, there's Discord, there's all this stuff. People making money off of GameStop and Dogecoin and a litany of others. It's funny. Prior to March of last year, I didn't hear anybody readily talk about cryptocurrency or stocks or
right?
whatever. Now everybody's talking about it, right? Or CBD sponsorship or marijuana sponsorships. And it's all here, right? So anything you need, we have it, right? But yet we have such a discourse in terms of our society. You're this political affiliation, you're this religious affiliation, whatever. Like I said, I think life is beautiful when you have more obtuse, oblong angles, right? There's going to be an angle, there's going to be a view that might not agree with you, and that's fine. And that's what I think makes us all beautiful. Joe, you don't have to like New Japan for us to like you. You don't have to watch every 80s and 90s WCW era pay-per-view for us to like you, Metal Geek.
Yeah.
And me, I'm just a guy that
We know you like the MMA, so you're like an MMA guy.
Yeah.
So right?
Yeah.
That's your style, right?
Yeah, and it's all beautiful. It's all here, and it's there's a waiting community for us all, and that's what we should focus on.
Like I was thinking that like if Geek and I ever have some reason get a chance to go out to Cali, I definitely will have to we'll have to hit you up.
Yeah.
And like we'll hang out. Have you ever been to Chico's Tacos?
No, where's Chico's Tacos?
You're gonna have to look that up. They have one near the Sony lot. Apparently, it's like a famous taco place. There's a theme song.
Oh, you're talking about Tito's.
Yeah, Tito's. I thought it was Chico's. I thought
Tito's. Yeah, of course I know Tito's.
There's the guys at this podcast, the Ghostbusters podcast that I love. When they were doing Ghostbusters Fest, they were mentioning
and In-N-Out Burger, I heard, is good too. A lot of people always talk about In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah, oh my God, In-N-Out Burgers, like the ish on the internet. You gotta go there and get their In-N-Out Burger, and I'm like, okay,
they're great, But then if you like Five Guys, if you like White Castle, if you like,
I like Five Guys.
Yeah.
I would love to. Like, I've tried them, in the frozen section.
Oh no.
I would love to go just to, like, I've never been to the Eastern Seaboard. Like, that's something.
Wow, that's
something.
We'll bring you to. We'll bring you down around Times Square. We'll bring you. We'll bring you up to the Madison Square Garden sign. You can take a picture of the big metal sign that's outside the garden. We'll show you the ropes. We'll bring you some tacos, bring you some pizza. Have your fun. We'll have a little fun in New York City. We'll bring you by Central Park.
Oh man, okay, we need to do this.
Home Alone 2?
Yeah.
I know how to get to the Ding Dang Dong Hotel.
Really?
Yeah,
it's right next to
Central Park too.
See, that's why we're friends. And the feeling is mutual, right?
Yeah.
So if you're all on the West Coast and what have you, like, we're gonna do the thing. We're gonna have your people call my people and do the whole Hollywood deal. There's a litany of. I mean, you guys are music heads, man. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude, we'll do it all. We'll do it all. Like the place where River Phoenix passed away, and like, yeah, man. It's
Ghostbusters Firehouse. I have to remember how to get there.
I just found out where it was, like right before COVID.
Yeah. I went there 2 years ago with my brother, and then we went to some other event in New York.
It's actually in Tribeca.
Yeah, it's in Tribeca, New York. I have the
It's in
shirt.
Tribeca.
They sell shirts and they sell patches.
So,
And they, oh my gosh.
and right there, right over there is where they filmed the movie Zoolander. Remember the gasoline fight with the, ever see Zoolander or no?
Yeah, of course I've seen it.
You saw Zoolander. Yeah, remember the gasoline fight? That was actually filmed in Tribeca, but there was no gas station. It was all an empty street. They just added in CGI the gas station. So if you're trying to find the gas station, you won't be able to find it because it was all just there for the movie.
Movie magic.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
We understand if you got to go.
yeah,
soon.
because you're telling us that you gotta go. So
You
Yeah.
guys are amazing, man. If you guys haven't already subscribed to the Dudes in Ringside podcast with Metal Geek and Joe the Panther Jr., I don't know what you're doing. It's the best thing going. I'm just saying. And that's according to Woods. But if you're in that mood of following and subscribing to stuff, according to Woods across the board, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch are where you can find the podcast. Instagram, Twitter, and everything. You'll get some dad memes and podcasts and stuff like that. So go ahead, do yourself a favor as we head into this weekend, or it could be deep into the weekend if you're listening overseas across the world. But Dudes at Ringside podcast, according to Woods, that's your jam. Go ahead, follow us here. And Metal Geek, Joe the Panther Jr., thank you so much for having me on. This has been great. Anytime you guys want to do it again, let's do it. But
definitely,
you guys are
definitely.
booked up until September.
So we have to wait. Sorry.
Yeah, September.
We gotta wait,
Yeah. Who knows? We could be doing it in October, coming in Halloween costumes.
There you go.
That too. You
We might
waiting
have to do
longer,
it.
we'll have to do in October. So
Yeah.
Thanksgiving time.
Tomohiro Blackishi.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna go as.
Yeah.
I gotta
Dr.
buy a
Paul
mask.
Bearer.
Buy a Luchador mask.
All right. If you have to go, Woods, thanks so much for coming on, man. We really appreciate the time.
Peace.
Please and take care. Oh
Yeah.
wow, well, that was an awesome interview.
Yeah.
So-
So, Geek, do you wanna punch out?
What? Yeah, we'll punch out.
All right. Geek, say goodbye.
All right. Take it. All right. So for those of you, thank you for the guest, according to Woods, Adam Woods, for coming on our show. He's been friggin' awesome. For those of you that aren't yet, we are on streamlabs.com/dudes at ringside. You don't have to. You could always donate to our page. The tips, the guy you see playing the guitar, you don't have to, but it's always a nice thing. So, and also you could also
I
follow
say all the time, if you can go on WrestleTees. What's the website? WrestleTees, Geek.
Mhm.
Go on the website and buy an independent T-shirt. They need it right now. And as I say all the time, thank you to my grandfather. Thank you to my grandfather Joe Quinones. Thank you to Pete Sanchez. Thank you to Frank Martinez for lighting the way for all Latino wrestlers. Good night, everybody.